Cruel Intentions is a lot deeper than I remember, or at least a lot deeper than what it allowed itself to be 25 years ago.
Spoiler alert, if you've never seen Cruel Intentions, this video will absolutely ruin it for you, but maybe in the best way possible.
Also, happy Pride Month, which makes this next part even more perfect because...
So here's the thing, Sebastian was gay as hell. Okay, maybe bisexual, but repressed? Absolutely. And once you see it, you can't really unsee it. The hypersexuality, the obsession with his image, the overly masculine persona wrapped around a journal full of secrets. This was not just a horny rich kid. This was someone at war with himself and with a stepsister who knew it. Catherine weaponizes his softness from the very beginning. When she jokingly calls him queer because he wants to write in his journal, it is not just a slur, it's a dagger. Because she knows what Sebastian can't even fully admit to himself. She knows that he's not straight. And the truth is, Sebastian's not even performing for other people anymore. He's performing for himself. Sleeping with a girl at the girl, trying to convince himself that his masculinity is real, that his queerness is imaginary, that if he can just be wanted by enough women, then maybe he'll finally feel like a man. Spoiler, it does not work. But what really sealed it in for me was the fact that his only real friend is Blaine, a gay man. The one person he never tries to dominate, impress, or seduce. Blaine is safe. Blaine sees him. Maybe even reflects something back to Sebastian that he's too scared to accept. But here's where the plot thickens, because Sebastian's story isn't just about queerness, it's about secrets. All of them are rooted in one name who we barely even hear throughout the rest of the movie. Court Reynolds. Catherine's downward spiral, the drugs, the rage, the revenge, starts with Court. He dumped her, embarrassed her, and called her unstable. And she never recovered from that. She couldn't hurt him, so she had to pick on people that was smaller than her. Cecile, just a pawn. Sebastian, a proxy. And Annette, the one girl that Catherine could not touch even if she tried. We need to talk about Catherine's queerness as well, because her character doesn't just understand societal expectations, she knows how to weaponize sexual performance. She trains Cecile. Literally, she brushes her hair, kisses her, seduces her under the guise of teaching her. But let's not lie. The way that she plays instructor is intentionally queer-coded. It's about control, domination, and seduction. Catherine uses Cecile's sexual awakening as leverage, not just for Cecile's benefit, but for her own narrative. And the most disturbing part is Cecile never even realizes that she's being used. Catherine literally grooms her, probably in the same way that Court probably groomed Catherine. You know, think about it. Catherine literally brushes Cecile's hair and says, "I hear you're dating Court Reynolds." And Cecile goes, "Yeah, he's okay, but he kept going on about this girl that he dumped, blah, 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 blah." But Cecile never catches the girl that Court supposedly dumped and went on about. And we're just supposed to believe that Cecile never mentions her new BFF, Catherine, to the guy who she's supposedly dating. That's either a massive plot hole or Catherine is playing a very dangerous long game. Like maybe she wants Cecile to blab. Maybe the goal was to leak that she's coming for Court indirectly. Let him know that the walls are closing in, that Catherine is making friends with the girls that he uses, and that she's coming for his reputation next. Also, that raises another theory that I have, like, what if Annette is maybe Court's stepsister? It's never said, but it would probably explain a lot. Catherine unlocks Cecile's sexuality not to empower her, but to use her, to manipulate her, and to ruin her just enough to ruin Court by association. So here is my dark theory. What if Court knew more than we think? What if Catherine had done things like threesomes or acts that she didn't want to do just to keep him interested and just to protect her image? You know? Because if Annette knew Court, she might also know that too, which could explain why Catherine never shows herself around Annette, ever. If Cecile and Annette were ever in the same room, that secret could spill, that Catherine would be exposed as the bulimic head case that court talked about, not just unstable, but used. And that is Catherine's greatest fear. She needs Cecile to look like a slut. She needs Court to look like the villain. She even needs Sebastian to look like a predator, because the second that Catherine looks imperfect, that whole entire mask slips. That's the real reason that she avoids Annette, because Annette doesn't just hold Sebastian's truth, she holds Catherine's too. So, talk about logistics here, because it's weird. It's weird. Why were all three of the girls at Sebastian's aunt house? Sebastian's aunt house isn't even in the city. Annette is living there for the summer, but then Cecile shows up and then Catherine shows up. They were all definitely under the same roof multiple times. Catherine even sleeps over and tells Sebastian that Annette has left the next morning to go visit her friends. But we never see Catherine and Annette speak until the funeral. Why? Because Catherine knew that Annette already knew everything. And here's my theory. Annette knew Greg, he's part of the Upper East Side Circle, and if she knew Greg, then she would have also known Court. That's why she has such strong opinions about Sebastian before she even met him. It wasn't because of Mrs. Caldwell warned her at the orientation. It's because Annette already knew the Upper East Side drama. She knew all the bullshit about Catherine. She knew all the rumors about Sebastian, and she falls for Sebastian anyway. Because once Sebastian manipulates his way in, and once those layers peel back, she didn't just see the playboy, she saw the person, the fear, the softness, the pressure, the truth. And that's what makes Annette the ultimate ally in this story. Sebastian's only saving grace is that he had Annette, someone who saw him, not for who he pretended to be, but who he was underneath. She didn't judge him. She didn't even expose him. She just simply understood him. That's why she got the journal. That's why she was the one who brings everything full circle. Because once Catherine realizes that Annette holds Sebastian's secrets and Court's confessions, she's cornered. She's powerless. Annette finishes what no one else could. She ends the performance.
Cruel Intentions is so much more than a scandalous teen drama. It is a queer tragedy in disguise. It's a story about the masks that we wear and the people who love us enough to look past them. And sometimes the most dangerous secret is the one that we are too afraid to say out loud. With that said, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts, please leave them in the comments so that we can discuss below. I think this will let me know if this content was entertaining enough, and maybe I'll continue to make more. If not, then I won't. But I guess I'll see you in the next video, or maybe I won't. Bye.